Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to this video. So guys, in this video actually we'll start with our first stage, okay, which is nothing but data ingestion. So before implementing the actual components, so first of all we'll be doing the experiment, okay, on the notebook side. Then once everything is working, okay, we'll be just copy pasting the same code, okay, in our modular coding. So for this actually in the resource folder, I have to create another IPYNB file, okay, so let's create. So I'll just create file here. So I'll give this name stage1. Okay, let's give stage st 01, okay, dot ipynb. So this is the file name I have given. Okay, so now what I need to do, I think from previous video I already told you, we'll be following some workflows. Okay, so the first thing actually we need to do, we need to update our config.yaml file. Okay, so that means this file. So let's open this file. First of all, let me close this other file, it's not required. I will also close this template. Also let's close this trial. Okay, yeah. So first of all, I will update this config.yaml. Okay, so what this config.yaml file will contain. Okay, so first of all, what I need to do, okay, so here actually basically I will be downloading the data from one URL. Okay, so this is going to be my data ingestion stage. Okay, so here basically first of all I need to get the data from any URL. Okay, your data might present in your S3 bucket, or it might present any GitHub URL. Okay, it is present, it might present any you can say in database. Okay, anything, like whenever you will be working with any, like you can say, real world project, at that time your data won't be available in your local. Okay, you need to download this data from any URL. Okay, so here actually I will be downloading my dataset from my GitHub URL. Okay, so there actually I stored my data. Okay, but in your case actually you can keep anywhere. Okay, whether you are using S3 bucket or any cloud platform or any database. Okay, you just connect with that and try to get your data. Okay, but in this project actually I will show you like how we can get the data from the GitHub itself. Okay, so I'll show you. So these are the thing actually you need to mention. Okay, then you need to mention your artifacts directory. Then inside artifacts directory you need to again create a data ingestion folder. Okay, inside data ingestion folder we'll be downloading this other data. Okay, so these are the you can say configuration I need to keep inside this config.yaml. So I already prepared this configuration, so let me just write it here. Okay, so guys, this is my config.yaml. Okay, so here I have written nothing. So first of all, I'm taking one root folder, artifacts root, which is nothing but artifacts. So first of all, whenever I will be executing my code, it will create one artifacts folder here. Okay, inside artifacts folder, it will create another root folder called data ingestion. Okay, so see, this is my data ingestion related configuration. That's why I'm giving a different name. Okay, inside that I'm creating subfolder like data ingestion. Okay, and this is my source URL. Okay, so here actually my data is present. Okay, so this is my GitHub URL actually. So if I copy the URL and if I go to my Google, okay, and if I paste it here and if I press enter, okay, so you will see it will start downloading my data, okay, from my GitHub URL. Okay, and if you want to see this URL, so let me show you also. I think catdoc dataset. Okay, the name of the dataset is catdoc. So this is my repository branching tutorial. So here I have stored this dataset. Okay, catdoc dataset, I think. Let me find. Yeah, so this is the dataset. Okay, so you just click, you can download as zip file. So what I did, I just copied this URL. Okay, so just right click and copy this link address. Okay, and if you just paste it, so this is the same URL. Okay, I copied from here. Okay, so that's how actually you can upload your data in your you can say GitHub. Okay, and you can get the URL. Okay, so what you need to do for that, just create any, you can say, repository, okay, in your GitHub, and try to zip your data and try to just drag and drop here. Okay, it will upload the data here. Okay, so I will provide the data for for this URL I'll provide. You can get the data from my URL only. Okay, but if you want, you can keep your data also here. Okay, it is also possible. So let's open my code again. Yeah, so this is the data URL, source URL. Okay, then local data file path. Okay, that means whenever I will download the data, okay, so it will download the data inside artifacts data ingestion. Okay, that means this folder we had created, and inside that it will download this data as data.zip. Okay, then after that, whenever I'll be doing the unzipping, okay, why it will like you can say unzip, it will unzip inside the same data ingestion folder. Okay, so that's how actually you need to keep different folder, okay, to organize your data, okay, to like keep your artifacts safe. Okay, so you can design it any way. Okay, it's up to you, but I have designed, okay, like that in this project only. Okay, so this is your nothing but config.yaml I have created, and this thing would be very clear whenever I'll be running the code. Okay, and you will see the output, then it would be very much clear. So let me first of all complete. So I have completed this config.yaml. Okay, so now I don't have any secret, okay. And params .yaml I have, okay. So let me open my params.yaml. So as of now, I am not taking any, like you can say, a model. So what I need to do, you can't actually keep this file as empty, because whenever you will be executing, it will throw error, okay. Like this params YAML file is empty. So for this, I will just take one dummy value here, key value here. So I'll just write key value, okay. So this file should not be empty, so that's why I've just kept one you can say key and value, okay. But later on, whenever I will be defining my like model, at that time I will delete it and I will okay, configure with my model here, okay. So now let me close this params.yaml also. Just keep any like key value here so that I won't be getting empty error, okay. So now params.yaml is also done. Now I need to create my update the entity, okay. So to update the entity, so what I need to do, I will go back to my config.yaml. No, I think I will open my this stage1.ipynb, okay. So first of all, let's do the experiment on this notebook, okay. Then I will keep it everything inside my this components, okay, in my modular coding. So first of all, let me comment out I will take one markdown here, okay. So this is my data ingestion, okay. Okay, this is my data ingestion stage. So let me delete this one, okay. So the first thing I will import, which is nothing but name tuple, okay. So what is name tuple? Let me show you. First of all, I will import from collection import name tuple, okay. Then I also need OS. Yeah, now let's execute. Make sure you have selected the kernel. So for me, this is my kernel, okay. CNN CLS, this is my environment I created, okay. I will select this one. Now it is executing. You can also open up your Jupyter notebook using your Anaconda prompt, okay. The way you usually open your Jupyter notebook, you can also open like that. But we have this notebook extension in my VS Code. That's why I can also run from my VS Code itself only, okay. So that I don't need to open it again and again, okay. So the first thing, what I need to do here, if you see, first of all, I need to create the entity, okay. So how I will create the entity, okay. So for this, first of all, so instead of writing, I'll just copy paste from my previous notebook, okay. So that's how actually you need to define this data ingestion config, okay. So basically here, if you see, I've just given one variable name, okay, and this is the name tuple object, okay. So here I just need to first of all mention the name of my configuration, okay, which is nothing but data ingestion, okay. And here I'm providing one list, okay. So what it will contain, it will contain all the parameter you have defined inside your config.yaml. Here, if you see, I have defined root directory, source URL, local data file, and unzip dir. And if you open the same thing, root directory, source URL, local data file, and unzip dir, okay, the same thing you need to mention, because this is going to be my return type, okay, return type of my configuration manager class, okay. Here if I show you, this is my configuration manager class, okay, we'll be writing, and this should be the return type, okay. So whenever I am trying to define my custom return type, at that time I need to create these are the entity, okay, using name tuple, okay. So that's how actually it's needed. So let me execute. And similar wise, I will create the same thing using data class, okay. You can follow this both way, okay. I will create the same thing using data class. So there is a like a package called data class, so you need to import data class. So here you need to just provide this decorator like data class, okay, and just need to create one class, okay, with the same name. Like here, if you see, data ingestion config, okay, and inside that you just mention all this thing, okay. So both way you can follow, okay. I'm giving you both thing, you can follow both way, okay. So that's actually you can define the return type, okay. Now how I'll provide the return type, let me show you, okay. So we have created the entity successfully. So this is my entity, okay. So entity is nothing but it should be return type, okay. Entity is nothing but whenever you try to create any method, okay, what would be the return type of that method, okay. And whenever you try to create any like class, okay, what would be the return type of this class, okay, we can mention these are the thing, okay, using entity. So this entity I have created, that's why. Now I need to write this configuration manager, okay. So how I can create this configuration manager, because here I'm not creating inside this src cnn classifier in this folder, because everything I'm experimenting on my notebook, okay. Once notebook is running successfully, then I will copy this code, okay, and I will paste like all of my component, okay, one by one. First of all, let's do it on the notebook itself, okay. So now I need to create this configuration, manager, okay, configuration manager class. So this will return me all the configuration. Okay, so first of all, what I need to do, I need to import my constant. Okay, so here if you see, I created one constant folder. Inside that I have one constructor file. Okay, I will open this one. So here first of all, so here basically what you need to do, you just need to return these two path. One is like your config.yaml and another one is like your params.yaml. Okay, so these two path actually you just need to return. Okay, how I can return it? So I'll use the same thing, path lib library. Okay, path lib import path. Okay, it should be capital path. Yeah, after that I'll just write config. Okay, config file path underscore path. Okay, I'll just provide inside this path uh, method only. Okay, so here I will just write, this is my folder name config slash, inside that I have config.yaml, config.yaml. Okay, so this path method will take care your path. Okay, whether you are in your Windows machine or Linux machine, it will take care. Okay, you don't have to worry, as I already discussed, okay, in my previous video how it will work. Okay, the similar wise I also need to define my params. Okay, params file path, and it should be only params.yaml because it is outside of the folder. Sorry, params.yaml, params. Okay, params.yaml. Yeah, if you see params.yaml. Okay, so this two thing I just only need to return. Okay, and yeah, this thing only. Now I'll come back to my notebook, and here I will try to import this thing. So I'll just write from cnn classifier. Okay, dot constant. Okay, dot constant. I'll import everything. Okay, import star. Okay, star means I'm trying to import everything. Okay, from here. Okay, so that is what I'm doing here. So let me, yeah, so this thing is done. Then I also need to import this utility. Okay, so from utility actually I need these are the, like you can say, method like read YAML I need. Also I need create directories. Okay, so these two method actually I need. So if I want to use it, so what I need to do, first of all I need to import this thing. Okay, so for importing, what I will do, just for simplicity, I will open this utils. Okay, utils folder. Inside that, if you see, I have created one constructor file. Okay, I'll open this one. Okay, so here I will try to do the importing operation. So let me show you like how we can import. So here what you just need to write, you just need to write from cnn classifier. Okay, dot utils, and inside common. Okay, inside we have common. Okay, common import. Okay, start, that means import everything. Okay, so if you just import here, okay, so what will happen actually, you don't need to import. Okay, you don't need to provide full path again and again. Okay, so that is the convenience. So that's why every time whenever you are trying to create any you can say utility or anything, try to import it inside this constructor only. Okay, now see how I will import this one. So I'll open my notebook file, and here I will just only write from cnn classifier. Okay, I'll just give utils, and simply I will just write import. I need my read YAML. Okay, read YAML, this method, and I also need my create directories. Okay, now see if I execute this cell, okay, it will execute successfully. See, I haven't mentioned this common.py here. Okay, because see inside utils, okay, inside common.py I have, these are the method, but here I haven't defined the common. Okay, still it is working. Okay, why still it is working? Because I have imported here everything. Okay, inside this constructor file. Okay, so that's why we mention this thing, so that actually we can import it very easily here. Okay, and it is like more readable. Okay, so that's why you can also follow this thing. So I'll close this one. Yeah, so we have successfully imported this two thing. Okay, now I will create my configuration manager class. Okay, so let's create this configuration manager class. I'll just write class. I'll give the name okay, configuration manager. So this is the class. So inside that I will define one constructor again, init self. Okay, so let's take self, and here first of all I need to define my config file path. Okay, so this is my config file path. where this config file path is coming, it is coming from my this one constant. Okay, because in constant actually we have defined this thing and we have already imported constant. Okay, here. So now if you just press Ctrl and right click on it, okay, it will redirect here. Okay, so that's how actually you can check like from where it is coming. Then I also need my params file path. Okay, let's mention here. So this is my params file path. Okay, so this thing let's just import here. Okay, now this thing is clear. Now what I need to do, so after getting this path, I need to read this file. Okay, so first of all, I will read my config file. Okay, so this is my config file and here I'm calling this read YAML. So read YAML will return your all the configuration present inside this config file path. Okay, which is nothing but this thing. Okay, so these are the configuration it will return as my like you can say Python box type. Okay, so I think you remember if I open my common. Okay, what would be the return type? It would be config box type. Okay, and what is config box? I already discussed. Okay, so it will return this thing. Okay, then I will also read my params.yaml. Let's read. So simply I'll just provide this params path here. Okay, after that, first of all, I will create this root directory. Okay, which is nothing but your data ingestion. No, which is nothing but your. So after that, I will create root directory, which is nothing but artifacts. Okay, artifacts root. Okay, so here if you see, if you just come here, what is artifacts root? If you just open up your config, okay, so this is the artifacts root. Okay, so inside that I have stored artifacts, so it will create one artifacts folder here. Okay, so that's how we can create directories. And if you see, this is our create directories. Okay, it can create multiple directories, so that's why you need to provide as a list. Okay, here you can give like 2 to 3, like any, like if you can give here n number of directories it will create. Okay, so that's why we need to provide as list here. Okay, once we have created the directory, then I will define my data ingestion configuration method. Okay, inside that I will just define this thing. So get data ingestion config self. Okay, and what would be the return type? As I already mentioned, the return type would be my data ingestion config. Okay, data ingestion config, which I already defined here. Okay, data ingestion config. So that's how actually you can mention any kinds of custom return type. Okay, using this name tuple or this data class. Okay, that's how actually, that's why we have created this entity. Okay, as I already told you, we need to create the entity. Okay, so now this is the return type. Okay, so now what are the things it will return? It will return root directory, source URL, local data file path, and unzip directory. So this 4 thing it will return. Okay, so that's why I have mentioned whenever I will call this get data ingestion config, it will return me this 4 thing. Okay, so that's why I have mentioned this should be the return type. Okay, I have already defined, okay, as my name tuple. Now once it is done, so first of all I will extract so once it is done, first of all I need to extract, these are the thing. Okay, only my data ingestion related like you can say configuration I will be taking. Okay, how I can take? So I have already defined this config here. If you see, so from config itself, I'll just call this data ingestion. Okay, so if I call this data ingestion, it will return me this 4 thing. Okay, so once I get this 4 thing, first of all I will be creating my root folder. Okay, let me get the root folder. Okay, if you just see, go to config now. Okay, now I am inside this data ingestion. Now what is root directory? Root directory is nothing but data ingestion. Okay, so it will create data ingestion inside artifacts, this folder. I need to return all of the 4 configuration I defined. Okay, so now here if you see, this is my data ingestion config, one variable I'm taking, and this is the name tuple I'm calling. So name tuple here I have defined, name tuple here I have defined, I'm calling this one. Okay, and this should be my return type. Okay, inside that I'm giving all the configuration. Okay, so first of all I'm providing root directory. So this is a root directory. What would be the root directory? Config.root.dir. Okay, if I come here, so config.root.dir, then I'm also giving my source URL, config.source URL, config.source URL. Okay, this thing I'm providing. That means I'm providing all of this 4 configuration. Okay, here now local data file path. Okay, which is nothing but this one, and unzip directory, which is nothing but config.unzip directory, config.unzip directory. Okay, so all the 4 parameter I am defining, and once I have defined everything, I'm returning. Okay, I'm returning this thing. Okay, so now that's how actually you can define your configure manager. Okay, this your configuration manager. So once configuration manager is ready, okay, now we'll be uh, writing our component. Okay, so the first component I need to write, which is nothing but data ingestion component. Okay, now let me execute this cell. Yeah, so it has executed successfully. Let me remove this at the empty space. Okay, now first of all, here I will be writing my data ingestion class. So for this I need some of the libraries. Okay, so these are the libraries are needed because here I will be using this URL lib to download my dataset from that URL. Okay, and I will show you the dataset, like how it will look like, and this zip file. Okay, because this should be a zip file. Okay, I need to also unzip. That's why I need the zip file package. Okay, so the first thing I need to write my data ingestion class. Okay, so this is my data ingestion class. Here I have defined one constructor. So this constructor will take your data ingestion configuration only. Okay, okay, so this is the configuration we have created. Okay, so this configuration it will take, and here I have initialized this configuration. Okay, now I can access all the configuration I have defined here. Okay, so the first method actually I need, which is nothing but download file. Okay, download that file from that URL. So this is the method. Okay, so this method actually will download that data from that URL. Okay, so here if you see, I'm using this request and URL retrieve. Okay, and inside that I'm just providing the URL and my local data file path, like where it will store after downloading. Okay, that's it. Then I need another method called unzip and clean. Okay, so after downloading the data, I need to also unzip the data. Okay, unzip the data, and I need to also clean it. Okay, why I need to clean it? So what I will do, I will open the data set and let me show you. Okay, so I have already downloaded this data set. It is present in my download. Okay, so let me unzip the data set first of all, extract all. I will extract. Okay, now guys, here if you see, after unzipping the data, you will get one folder like that. Okay, so here if you see, I have some other file also, like I have one PDF file and I have readme.txt file. Okay, and here I have another folder called pet image. Okay, if I go inside pet image, then I have my dog folder and cat folder. Okay, now if I open my dog folder, here I have all of the dog images. Okay, so see guys, these are my dog images here. Okay, now if I show you as list, it would be very much clear. Okay, so see, and here if you see, it contains also thumbs file, thumbs.db file. Okay, this is the database file. This is not an image. Okay, so if I give these kinds of file during my training, so it will throw me an error because this is not an image file. Okay, so that's why. So that's why actually we need to do some cleaning operation. Okay, and some of the file, if you see, it's 0 KB. Let me show you. I think I saw some of the like file at 0 KB. So these kinds of 0 KB file also I need to remove. Okay, I only need to keep, these are the images only. Okay, these are the images only, and apart from that, what are the files are present? Okay, that, see, this is a 0 KB file. Okay, that's why it's not opening. Okay, and some db file is also there. Okay, so, see, this is the thumbs file. Okay, so these are the cleaning I need to do. Okay, after getting the data. So similar wise, inside cat folder also I have the same thing. So thumbs file, and some of the image you won't be see, like you will see like it is not opening because it's a 0 KB. Okay, so what is our plan? Our plan is to, like, we need to remove like ignore these are the like file, like this readme file, then this PDF file. Okay, we will only extract the images only. Okay, we'll extract this dogcat folder and only the images. Okay, not this thumbs file and 0 KB file. Okay, so that's actually your data will look like. So that's why we are defining this method. Okay, it will first of all unzip and it will clean it. Okay, now here if you see, I have provided two method. Okay, so this method is not defined yet. Okay, so first of all, what I'm doing, I'm applying one method called get updated list of file. Okay, so this method actually will help you to get your only your dog cat folder. Okay, only your dog cat folder and only these images only. Okay, so this thing actually it will extract. So for this, let's define this method. So here I will define this method, okay, called get updated list of files, and here I'm writing the logic. Okay, if your like files end with .jpg, okay, and it is a cat and dog folder, then you just take this file. Okay, otherwise just ignore. Okay, so for your case, you just write this logic, okay, based on your like requirement, okay, with respect to your problem statement. So for me, my data is like that. That's why I'm writing here. Okay, so this thing can be changed. Okay, for your case, if you are creating any other project and there actually your data format is different, at that time you can write this logic. Okay, see, if you know Python code, okay, if you know like how to program in Python, you can write this at the script. Okay, it's like very easy. Okay, I'm expecting you are familiar with Python. At least you can write this at the logic. Okay, to handle any kinds of data, any kinds of file. Okay, but if you have this kinds of data, you can use this code as it is. Okay, so that is the, like, you can say, main motto here. Okay, then after that, this method we have defined, and another method I need to define called preprocess. Okay, inside this preprocess, see, after getting the data, okay, it will have all the jpg file, but I'll show you. So there are some file which contain 0 kb. Okay, I just only need to ignore these are the file. Okay, because 0 kb I can't train. Okay, this is not an image. Okay, so that's why I need to also create one preprocessing function here. So this is the pre-processing function I have defined. Okay, so here if you see, I'm checking. Okay, get size. Okay, I think I already showed you. Get size will take the size of your file. Okay, and if it is equal 0, it will remove, okay, from that folder. Okay, so this is the logic here. Okay, so guys, we have successfully defined this data ingestion class. Now let's execute this cell. Okay, so basically what is happening? Okay, so what would be your main objective here? So let me show you what it will do, this cleaning operation. So let me take one example here. So suppose you have some file, some folder called xy. Okay, and inside that you have, suppose, cat. Okay, cat folder, and inside you have one dot jpg. Suppose you have one image. Okay, and suppose there is another okay, format like xy. Okay, and inside that you have directly one image called one.jpg. Let's consider. Okay, so what will happen? Actually, it will consider this kinds of, I mean, folder. Okay, so here if I show you my data, so basically I have one pet image. Okay, inside that it has a cat folder. Okay, cat dog folder. Inside that I have one.jpg, cat.jpg, anything it might be. Okay, so that's why it will automatically pick up this, I mean, this format. Okay, not this format. Okay, if I have something like that in that folder, I have directly the images or directly any file. Okay, it will ignore these are the file. Okay, so that means I just only need this format. Okay, that's why I have defined this to do thing. Okay, so these two thing will help you to get your data correctly, and it will also remove, like, what file have the 0 kb. Okay, it will remove those at the file. Okay, so this is the thing I have done here. Now we have completed all the component. Okay, now if I show you readme, now we can write the pipeline. Okay, so here I'm not going to write the pipeline. Let's execute this class only. Okay, just for testing whether it's working or not. Okay, so to test this one, okay, so just execute this code. So basically here I'm writing one try except exception. Okay, now inside that I'm defining, first of all, my configuration manager class I defined here. Okay, this is the configuration manager class, and from this configuration manager class I'm calling my get data ingestion configuration. Okay, so it will return me this method. Okay, this configuration it will return. Okay, because because my data ingestion takes my data ingestion configuration only. Okay, so once I have my configuration, I'm calling my data ingestion class. Okay, so this is my data ingestion class, and this will take your data ingestion configuration, and this thing actually I'm passing my data ingestion configuration. Okay, config is equal to data ingestion configuration. So once you have defined that, so you will get your data ingestion object. Okay, now you can call any method from here. Okay, and see guys, these are some hidden method I have defined. Okay, see, I have given underscore. Okay, before the name. Okay, if you are giving underscore, that means it's a hidden method. Okay, so that actually user can't access these are the method. I can access, I can change anything here, but whenever you are like building the application, okay, at that time they won't be able to access these are the function, because these are some hidden function I have created. Okay, so this thing actually I don't want my user to access. Okay, these are the function, that's why I have mentioned like that. Okay, so you can create this kinds of protected function. Okay, using underscore. Okay, in Python. Okay, now here if you see, I'm calling my, first of all, data download file. That means this method. Okay, download file, it will download the data. Once it is downloaded data, I'm calling my unzip and clean. Okay, this method. Okay, and I'm like returning the exception. Okay, so this thing I have prepared. Now let's execute and see whether it's working or not. Okay, so first of all, to execute this one, first of all, what I will do, so first of all so first of all, to check this one, I need to check my present working directory. Okay, so where I am actually present pwd. So guys, if I write this command like percentage pwd, here if you see, this is my directory. Okay, so now currently I'm in the resource folder. Okay, currently I'm in resource folder, but if I want to execute this thing, okay, if I want to execute this thing, and if I want to access, like, these are the config.yaml and params.yaml, I need to go back, or I need to go back to my CNN classifier, which is nothing but this root folder. Okay, this is going to be my root folder always. Okay, so to go back, what I will do, I will come here. Here I will take a new cell. Okay, and here I will just write wes dot uh, chdr. Okay, chdr, and here I need to just go back. Okay, just one folder I need to go back. So to go back, you just need to define this thing. Okay, so it will basically go back one folder. Okay, now if I execute this thing, okay, now if I again show your project working directory pwd, now here if you see, I'm in my CNN classifier. Okay, so that's actually, you can go back. Okay, now this thing I have run. Now let's execute my code and see whether it's working or not. Okay, now what I will do, I will execute this cell. Now guys, see, it is returning all the artifacts. Okay, it is returning all the logs, because I'm also printing logs in my terminal. Okay, so first of all, it has loaded this YAML file successfully. Then params file also loaded successfully. Then it has created one directory called artifacts. Okay, now here if you come at the left hand side, if you see, it has created artifacts folder, and it has also created this data ingestion folder. Inside that is downloading this data.zip. Okay, first of all, it is going it is opening this URL. Okay, and it is downloading the data from this URL. Okay, that's why it's loading. So let's wait. Okay, it's done. Here if you see, now after downloading the data set, okay, so this is the zip file, data.zip. Okay, and it has unzipped the data set. Okay, and it has already taken, okay, only this cat doc folder. Okay, and it has ignored, okay, it has ignored, if I show you, this PDF and this readme folder. Okay, and also you have some, like, kilobyte file also, like a 0 kilobyte file also, and this thumbs file also, it has also removed. Okay, automatically it has also removed, and only I have my images, okay, present in my artifacts. Okay, now you can also open this folder manually and you can check. So I'll open. So this is the artifacts folder it has created. Inside artifacts, I have my data ingestion, and this is my data.zip, and inside pet images, it had saved all my cat dog images. Okay, so here if you see, these are my cat dog images, and this thumbs.db file is not there. Okay, so that's how we have successfully completed our data ingestion stage. Okay, now in our next video, what I will do, I will try to show you like how we can convert this like notebook file to your you can say like you can say modular coding. Okay, so we'll be writing this thing inside my components. Okay, we'll organize the code. Okay, so that's why actually before implementing the actual components, you need to like do some experiment on the notebook. And if your notebook is working fine, see, now everything was, now see, everything is working fine for me. Okay, now I'm ready to you can say I mean add this code, okay, in my modular coding. Okay, so that's actually, I follow this strategy. Okay, I follow this strategy. Actually, it helps me to debug my code. Okay, it helps me to understand my like project in a very good way. Okay, so that's why I'm showing this thing. Okay, and now let's commit these changes, because we haven't committed yet. Now if you just click on source control here, if you see, it is also mentioning the images file also, because it is also committing this artifacts folder. So we can ignore this artifacts. So I'll open this .git, and at the last I will mention the artifacts folder here. Okay, let's mention the artifacts folder. So what is the name? It is artifacts. Okay, so I'll copy the name from config artifact, and I will mention here. Okay, and here I will give slash, and I'll, okay, give star, because I want to uh, ignore everything. Okay, now if I click on source control, now see, it won't be committed. Okay, now let's close it. Now let's commit the code. So I'll open my terminal, and I'll just write git add space dot git commit -m stage 01 notebook added. Okay, now I'll just write git commit git push origin main. So yeah guys, we have successfully committed the code. Now if I show you the source control, there is nothing to commit. Okay, and this file actually I need to save, so I'll just press Ctrl S. Okay, yeah, so yes guys, this is all about from this video. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.